Welcome, race fans, to another installment of the Four Wide Sim League, brought to you by Burger King. Have it your way. Race number 7 of 10 in the Four Wide Sim League. We're going to have a very special one for you today, as we have stories, we have rivalries. It's going to be an interesting race. As our viewers tune in here, we want to welcome everyone to this presentation, as we are once again doing things live here for the second straight week. Speaking of weeks, we have followed through with our consistency here, as just last week we had Indianapolis. This is a somewhat new feature in the Four Wide Sim League, because Talladega happened. No, it didn't. The stream didn't stop. You're lying. Anyway, Talladega was a good couple of years ago, but now we're back on track. We're going to finish the season off with just 2 more weeks after today. We're looking at the 3rd of February, and then to finish things off on the 10th of February with our championship race at Homestead, Miami. Want to make sure everything's working here. I believe it still is. We're going to do a quick check, and then we're going to go through our starting grid as well as the current playoff standings. Can I get some confirmation from the chat, please? Believe we are still up and running here. Chat room is open. Okay. Let's take a moment to look at today's, not the grid, I'm going to go with standings first. Let's take a moment to look at today's standings. We can see clearly that 4 very well-known drivers have already been eliminated from the playoff contention. Atlas Peabody, Bankruptcy, Thomas, and Walker Fuller, most of which were in the top 5 in points at the end of the regular season. Those cars have been eliminated. Speaking of eliminated, we're going to talk about Thomas, and the 29 car took a brutal hit last week at the Brickyard. He is okay. He did survive the crash, and he is in his vehicle for today's race at Atlanta. It was a nasty one, and he was rushed to Indianapolis Hospital, where he received trauma treatment, and apparently his brains were all over the place in his car, so they had to scrape his brain matter off of his steering wheel and windshield, putting it into a bucket, transporting that to the hospital, and they kept him alive with I don't even know. I'm not a doctor, but all I know is that they were somehow able to keep him alive and put his brain somewhat back together. Not really though, so we're gonna have to see how he drives today, but he is eliminated from playoff contention, and we would just love to hear that he's okay. So we're gonna move along here. Walker Fuller, I mean, no one really likes him. We're kind of glad that he's eliminated because he killed Quandale Dingle Jr. I know Quandale Dingle Jr. is pretty happy about that one. Bankruptcy, one of the regular season champions in the top 3, finished top 3 in points, also eliminated after being wrapped up in that Dick McCocklebutter wreck that took Atlas Peabody as well. Speaking of Dick McCocklebutter and Chad Ripshit, the rivalry there seems to be growing, as Chad Ripshit apparently drove the car up on Dick McCocklebutter, entering turn 4 at the Brickyard, causing him to hit into the wall, losing control of his vehicle, and spinning like a fidget spinner like a top, if you will. Now, when we talked to Chad about that, he said that he did not do anything on purpose. Instead, he thought that Dick was just trying to be cool as he spun like my fucking life into the gutter. But Dick, I know he's not very pleased about that. Hopefully we can hear from both of them before today's race, if we are lucky. But that rivalry is heating up, and we shall see what goes on in Atlanta as Dick is once again starting. Dick is once again starting ahead of Chad Ripshit. I think it's too early to go to commercial break, so we're going to hold off on that for now. It is only 6:06 currently. The race will start at 6:30. Hopefully we can see a few more people come into chat for this race here, as most people answered the poll for what time they wanted it to be, and I chose the sweet spot here. So hopefully we can see if others show up in time and we can get some interviews going here, if possible. If not, we're going to have to take this our own way, which is very possible because, as we know, we're very flexible here at the 4-Wide Sim League. But in any case, the show must go on. I kind of want to hold off on doing the starting grid for a little bit, so maybe we can just take a couple minutes here and reflect on what we want to see today and what we may see. The 4-Wide Sim League will be eliminating 2 drivers after today's race from the current playoff drivers. We had a little bit of a mix-up with the playoff format as it had to be updated. Originally, we were going to eliminate 4 cars after each playoff race, with 12 playoff cars starting, and if you do the math there, it would go 12 to 8, 8 to 4, 4 to 0, or 4 to 1, I should say, and that would be at Dover. That's only 3 races. We need to stretch it to 4. So instead, we're going to have 4 cars. The 4 cars that did get eliminated at the Brickyard, they're going to stay eliminated. Today, we're going to be eliminating 2 after Atlanta. Dover will see 2 cars eliminated, leaving 4 for Homestead, Miami, where the championship race will be held on February 10th. That date, of course, is subject to change. However, that is what we are looking at now. Fridays to finish off the season here, and look ahead to season 2. With that being said, we are going to take a second and see if we can get some other people in chat here, as it seems that only Chad Ripshit is in attendance. Shout out to him. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple minutes here and see if other people are going to make it to today's pre-race show. The Four Wide Sim League would like to shout out our current YouTube viewers who are seeing this race after it happened. We want to welcome you to the video, and we hope you enjoy this presentation of the Four Wide Sim League. To transition here, we're going to go ahead and bring in Chad Ripshit, or perhaps one of his owners here, and we can talk to him a little bit about what he saw at the Brickyard, as well as what he expects in Atlanta. So without further ado, I welcome a member of the South Chicago Packing Company racing team. Hello?
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow, what a day.
Is this Chad?
It is.
Hey Chad, long time no see, buddy.
How we doing, brother?
What's up? How are you?
You know, it's race day. That's really all I have to say.
You feeling nervous today at all?
Absolutely not.
No? Why is that?
Not a nervous bone in my body.
You're feeling confident you're going to move on to the next round?
Maybe not that, but it's just kind of like an in-between state, you know? Just kind of like a flow state. I'm just kind of there.
You're just kind of there.
Yeah.
So what kind of, if you could bring me through what you saw at the Brickyard when all of those incidents went down, and kind of like what you saw and what you were thinking as Dick was spinning in the air like a dreidel, as you said.
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah, that was kind of a weird day because so normally, like in my cup holders and stuff like that, I got some snacks with me during the race, and that time I didn't. Normally I kind of bring like baby carrots or something like that, just to kind of munch on throughout the race, and maybe like a glass of milk or something like that. But this time I just had a straight up tub of that beef tallow, and normally that's normally I use that only for cooking, but I was kind of feeling a little bit out there last time, and so I just kind of brought the whole thing in with me. Today in the cooking department, I have a stick of butter with me, so something different might happen there. But yeah, so I was really just kind of thinking about really just the snacks thing. There wasn't really a whole lot going on through there wasn't really a whole lot going on through the neuron firing process. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'd say that's really all. That's really my thoughts on the subject.
And once again, I want to just reiterate, you did not intentionally move Dick up the track there heading into turn 4, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Now, Chad, what do you expect out of Atlanta today? It's a longer track. It's a little bit quicker around the edges. What are you expecting to happen?
Yeah, I'm expecting probably a lot of acceleration, braking, maybe turning a bit to the left if I were a betting man. Yeah, Atlanta's kind of wacky. Just it's in Georgia. Like, what else is there in Georgia?
It's like the second Florida, but the worst one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There, I will say though, every single grocery store in Atlanta, their Naturday stock is so dry. Oh my goodness. Who shut the wells? Who shut the Naturday wells in Atlanta and bring them to me so I can give them a knuckle sandwich, because it is absolutely absurd. I can't find anything anywhere.
Perhaps a restock is in order at the grocery stores down south. But Chad, thank you for talking to us today. Good luck in today's race.
It's always my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Chad Ripshit, a playoff driver, still in the chase with high aspirations at a championship, as he is almost unbeatable. We'll see how that goes between him and Dick McCocklebutter today as we head to our first commercial break of the night.
Secret ingredient is beef tallow. Wow, perfect.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wagyu beef tallow right here. This is a super awesome product.
And of course, we're using the beef tallow.
This is by far my best brisket I've done.
The Four Wide Sim League is brought to you by the South Chicago Packing Company and Wagyu Beef Tallow. Wagyu Beef Tallow. Make your meat better. Now to transition here, we are going to see if we can reach out to the members of the 17 crew, whether that be Atlas Peabody himself or his owners. So without further ado, let's see if we can get one of them into the studio here. Hello, Atlas?
Oh my, hello.
Hello, Atlas. Is this Atlas or is this someone else?
This is Atlas, yes.
Hello, Atlas. How are you today?
I am, well, as good as I can be, I suppose. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great up here in the booth today. It's a good day for racing. Now, Atlas,
That
you
is
are
wonderful.
eliminated from playoff contention after you got caught up in the Dick Macaca Butter wreck. What kind of emotions are going through your head right now?
Rage, I would say, is the primary emotion. See, for anyone who may not have been there to witness it, Chad Ripshit, number 69, decided that he wanted to murder Mr. Dick McCocklebutter, number 84, and somehow that led to my elimination and neither of theirs. So, you know, a lot of emotions going on. Rage primarily, as I said, and yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Do you think that a chance for revenge could come out of today?
Oh, I'm looking for it. See, I no longer have any reason to win, which means I no longer have anything to lose. There will be blood. There will be revenge.
Blood on the track at Atlanta.
Whoa, blood on the track. No, certainly not. That would definitely go against all four wide regulations that I am aware of. No, it was a metaphorical sense, if you will.
Metaphorical blood on the track at Atlanta. Atlas, you have a fast car today. You picked up your second straight pole, as you had one at the Brickyard as well. You have a fast
Indeed,
car
I
and
do.
a fast crew heading into today. Are you going to look for the victory or perhaps revenge?
You know, little column A, column B. If I can get that win, fantastic. If I can get revenge, also fantastic. I think it's kind of a, you know, whichever opportunity most conveniently presents itself.
Well, the beef just continues to grow, if you will. Wagyu Beef Towel will make that beef taste a little bit better on the track here. Atlas, congratulations on the second straight pole, and good luck to you today.
Thank you.
That was Atlas Peabody of the 17 car of Lambda Racing. I think it's time, before we take a look at today's starting grid, we can go ahead and take one more commercial break. The Four Wide Sim League is also brought to you by New Balance. New Balance, we got now. Without further ado, let's take a look at today's starting grid, brought to you by the South Chicago Packing Company and New Balance. On the inside, picking up the pole, Atlas Peabody in the 17 car could look for revenge or perhaps the win today at Atlanta. Time shall tell. Next to him is the 22 of Big Chungus, another playoff driver looking to make some noise today, heading into the third to last race of the season. Row 2 on the inside, Lola Havana in the 23 perhaps can help Atlas Peabody to a victory today. And on the outside of her, it's going to be the 12 car of Mohammed Ghazawi, who has not paid that $50,000 fine that he received last week for openly supporting ISIS on his Instagram story. In row 3 on the inside, we have Charles Norris in the 7 car, followed by Jay Bomberdick in the 9 on the outside. Row 4, Weenist Hemsworth in that 2 car on the inside with the 29 of Thomas on the outside. A bounce back week for him after he was almost murdered at the Brickyard. Row 5, DB Cooper in the 24 on the inside with the 84 of Dick McCocklebutter on the outside. Dick has once again stayed in front of Chad Ripshit on the qualifying grid as we move on here. In row 6, Bankruptcy on the inside in the 8 car, followed by the 99 of Quandale Dingle Jr. on the outside. Row 7 consists of the 75 of Andy Tate and Clint Alabama in the 1 car. Row 8, number 69 of Chad Ripshit, falling behind Dick McCocklebutter on the inside, and on the outside of him is the 00 of Wah Full, a playoff driver who is also still in the running, looking to make some more noise here as he is going to attempt to move on to the round of 6. Row 9 consists of Walker Fuller on the inside and David Mahan on the outside, and picking up the last spot in row 10 will be the 44 of Glue Man. All these drivers today are, well, I should say 8 of these drivers today are looking to punch their way into the next round and contend once more for the trophy that has yet to be created for the end of this year, should there be one. Next week, we're going to go to Dover with the final 6 cars in the playoff race. And after that, we will take our final 4, the 4-wide final 4 at Homestead, Miami. That should be a really good and really exciting race. It appears that all of our drivers are clearly too busy for an interview, as only Atlas Peabody and Chad Ripshit had time for us today. So the broadcast booth is going to send our deepest fuck yous to those who are not currently in the race day VC and are thus unavailable for an interview at this time, despite the fact that they did in fact vote on the poll claiming that they would be available for a race at this time. We are 6 minutes away from our pre-race ceremonies to begin and the opening sequence. And then a couple minutes after that, the green flag will drop at Atlanta, and we are in for a spicy day of racing here at the Speedway. We're going to go ahead and take one more commercial break before our presentation of the 4-wide Sim League race at Atlanta.
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper, flame grill taste with perfect toppers. I rule this day. Lettuce, mayo, pickle, ketchup, it's okay if I don't want that Impossible or bacon Whopper, any Whopper my way. You rule your season today at BK. Have it your way.
You should have seen that coming, but the 4-wide Sim League is also brought to you by Burger King. Burger King, have it your way. As we look to chat here a couple minutes before race day, it looks like Chad has something else to say before we get things going here, so we'll go ahead and let him in. Chad?
Hey, it's me again.
You have something to say, Chad?
Yeah, I do. I was just doing a little introspection there with my friend Atlas Peabody, and I was just thinking, you know the movie Planes? That's kind of like Cars, but with planes, where like the planes are like personified, that kind of thing.
I think I'm aware. Yep.
Yeah. So one thing that's really cool about that movie is that it hints at the fact that World War II is canon in the Cars universe, which implies that there's like a Cars Hitler, a Cars Holocaust, Pacific War, D-Day, Hiroshima type thing. So were the nukes, like the bombs that were dropped?
Yeah.
Were they sentient? Like, did they have thoughts and feelings? Because if anything like that in that universe is kind of has its own its own brain and function? Do you think like
Well, to answer that
would they be like
question,
kamikaze type things, or
I would think
like what kind
that
of car would Hitler be?
I would think that, yeah, I mean, do the gas pumps are they sentient? You know,
Was there cars?
they're
Was there
not.
cars 9/11?
They're not. So that's what I was gonna transition to here in a second. That would imply that there were two aircrafts that would crash into the two. We're getting off topic here, Chad. What are you doing to me?
Were the twin towers?
This is a presentation of the Four Wide Sim League. Good lord. Apologies for that, everyone viewing. That was completely just rude and unnecessary. Chad, we're gonna have to see you in the trailer after the race, along with your team owner and spotter. I don't think it was necessary. You're most definitely wrong there. We are just 3 minutes away from racing at Atlanta here, as we still are missing a good amount of people who again said that they would be here. So whatever, the show still must go on. Just know that if you're watching this in post, you're breaking my fucking heart. It is, however, okay. I do forgive you. Maybe we'll see how I feel after today's race, and maybe if you send me a message apologizing to me, I won't be as mad as I perhaps would be. It is a Friday night here at the Four Wide Sim League, which means that we hope you have a beer in hand and God on your mind, as we are just seconds away from racing here from Green Flag. Chad, I really don't think I should bring you in here again, but you know what? I'm stumped for time right now, so what do you want?
I just have one more quick thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I have myself full confidence that if all do their duty, if nothing is neglected, and if the best arrangements are made as they are being made, we shall prove ourselves once again able to defend our island home, to ride out the storm of war, and to outlive the menace of tyranny, if necessary for years, if necessary alone. At any rate, this is what we are going to try to do. That is the resolve of His Majesty's government, every man of them. That is the will of Parliament and the nation, the British Empire and the French Republic, linked together in their cause and in their need, will defend to the death their native soil, aiding each other like good comrades to the utmost of their strength. Even though large tracts of Europe and many old and famous states have fallen, or may fall into the grip of the Gestapo and all the odious apparatus of Nazi rule, we shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the land.
Would you look at the time? 6:30 on the dot. Let's go down to the raceway for some racing at Atlanta, folks. Welcome to the opening sequence of the Four Wide Sim League. Atlanta, Georgia, the home of the Four Wide Sim League's round of 8, brought to you by Wagyu Beef Tallow and Burger King. Welcome everyone, as we are just moments away from Green Flag here at Atlanta, and we have a good one in store for you today. Drama has been raining down on the Four Wide Sim League like cats and dogs. The rivalry between Dick McCocklebutter and Chad Ripschick grows ever stronger as both drivers are still in contention for the championship here. Atlas Peabody on the pole position for the second straight week is furious with Chad's decisions, and we are in for a good one today. Thank you for joining us. This is Tingus Pingus in the booth. We welcome all of our viewers, whether you be from Twitch or YouTube. Support for the 4-Wide Sim League has been growing ever since this league started, and we are happy to be back in the rhythm of week-to-week races instead of year-to-year races. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our starting grid once again today. Before today's race, Atlas Peabody on the pole, Big Chungus in second place, right behind him, starting on the outside. What's interesting about this consistency of drivers here is that a lot of the playoff drivers are in fact in the back of the pack starting this race off, as we should take a peek in just a moment here. But you see drivers like the 84 of Dick McCocklebutter in 10th. Yep, here we go. The 00 of Waffle, Chad Ripshit in the 69, David Mahan in the 78, and of course, Big Chungus in the 22 starting second, so he has a major advantage already heading into the start of this race. We want to welcome everyone once again for the final time as the pace car, the blue Pinty's pace car, will take the cars around the track for our inaugural pace lap here at Atlanta, as those cars are going to head into turn 2 down the back stretch. And I think what we can do in this time is we can reach out to the 84 of Dick McCocklebutter to see his thoughts. Let's go ahead and see if we can get him going here. Dick, are you there?
Hello. Hey.
Chad said some pretty mean shit to you in the pre-race show. We want to see if there's any rebuttal for you today.
I fucking tuned all of it out. I hate that guy. I'm going to kick his ass this fucking race.
Looking for revenge today. You got to stay out of trouble if it's going to happen.
I might cause trouble.
Well, hopefully you do not, as you got to keep that car intact if you're going to want to move on to the next round at Dover. Dick, best of luck to you.
Thank you, Tingus.
Dick McCocklebutter in the 84 car is looking for a little bit of a change from what happened at the Brickyard. He did squeak by, but he's got to stay out of the wrecks today at Atlanta if he wants any sort of hope at moving on here, as the blue Dodge Pinty's pace car is gonna take that hard left turn on a pit road, and the green flag is about to come out, and there it is, green flag at Atlanta. We are racing, boys. Here comes the 17 of Atlas Peabody immediately on the inside, as Lola's going to fill that spot between the Atlas and the 7 of Charles Norris here, as Jay Bumberdick's also going to move down to the inside. I feel like we need more volume here, so that's exactly what we're going to do, folks, as Lola... Oh, I'm very much looking at the wrong thing. Wow, that was embarrassing. I am now on pace here, as the 23 of Lola Havana has the lead, but here comes Jay Bumberdick. I'm sorry about that, folks. Hold on a minute! Already some trouble. The 69, he keeps it clean, though. He keeps it clean. He saved that one pretty well, as Dick's also in the wall. Dick is in the wall already, but I think the green flag is going to stay out here. Yes, we have green flag on the track. A close and scary call for Dick, as Jay is going to continue to have the lead, but there's the 7. Let's take another look. You can see a little bit of... Look at that. The 69 was sideways, and he saved it there. What an amazing save by the 69. Revenge, almost. See how Dick got into the wall here. He just kind of got shoved up there. Yeah, a great save by the 69. Dick is okay, too, but you know what he needs here is a yellow flag to get back. He is trailing badly right now. He needs a yellow flag bad to get to the back to the front of the pack, but a lot of cars got taken out in that little shindig there, as the 8 of Bankruptcy is going to continue to have the lead. But wait a minute, that's the 2 of Weenus Hemsworth down in the inside, taking the lead from the 8 car, but DB Cooper, the 24, is there as well. Who's going to get credit for leading this lap? Oh, it's going to be the 2 car of Weenus Hemsworth. But Mohammed Ghazawi in the 12 is going to get a push from Atlas Peabody there, heading into turn 2. Yep, those cars back there. There's Chad Ripshit Waffle, Dick McCocklebutter, all playoff cars need a yellow flag to get back into this one. Absolutely. Atlas Peabody the inside. A little bit of contact there with a 12. Close call there. Oh my gosh. The 1 and the 29 going to the infield. Another bump from the 1 on the 35. Wow, it's chaos already here at Atlanta. Good recovery by the 1 and the 35 there. They're going to lose some spots, though, as they lost a good amount of speed here. They're going to fall behind a little bit. Lola Havana making a move down the backstretch in front of Atlas Peabody. She's going to assume the lead, but there's Andy Tate in the 75 poking to the inside with help from the 8 of Bankruptcy. 4 wide here, it seems. That's going to be a little bit of trouble in the back, but they look to keep it clean as we are 7 laps in already. This one is flying by here. The 8 of Bankruptcy is going on the inside as the mauled meter is going off here for some of these drivers. 3 wide here, heading into turn 3. It's a longer race today. It should be. If we can keep it green here, Bankruptcy's going to take a huge lead. Biggest one I've seen all day. They're 3 wide in the back for second place. That's Quandale Dingle Jr., Walker Fuller, and Charles Norris in the 7. Bankruptcy with the biggest lead that we've seen so far. Let's take a look. And oh my gosh, there's trouble. The 35's around. The 35's around. 75's into the wall as well. Oh my gosh. Whoa, Waffle. Waffle just, he did not give up. The 35 is spinning. Good God. Lord above. He's, and the 00 drives by, middle finger out the window. Fuck you, Walker Fuller. He is on his roof. Pace car is going to come out. First caution of the day. Looks like Dick McCocklebutter, Chad Ripshit, and Waffle got their wish as we have our second straight week of fidget spinners today at Atlanta. 4 wide caution of the day brought to you by Burger King. Have it your way. Let's take a peek, and it's chaos. The 35 is going to spin. 24 is going to go to the 75, and then look at this. Waffle hits him 1, 2, 3 times and causes him to flip over. That is a violent roll for Walker Fuller, and then the 00 is going to drive by with a middle finger out the window. Fuck you, buddy. This is my track. A statement from Waffle. You can see the smoke here, and there's the 35. He's going to turn into him almost. 1, 2, 3. Get off of my track, you little bitch. Go for a ride, 35. My word. He's going to drive by like nothing happened. No damage to the 00, it seems. One more look. The 2 gets into the 35. The 35 into the 24. 35 is going to spin. 24 is into the wall. And the 00 of Waffle. Get off of me. Violent. Very violent. As if nothing happened. No damage to the 00. As I said earlier, that's going to help Dick McCocklebutter, Chad Ripshit, and Waffle, as they did get their caution to rejoin the pack, and now they are going to be right back in it as contenders after that little mishap that took Chad sideways and Dick into the wall. Bankruptcy to take us back to green here at Atlanta with Quandale Dingle Jr. on the outside. That Dodge Pinty's pace car with another hard left turn. This yellow flag's about to turn green here at Atlanta, folks, as I am already twisting over my own words. Green flag back in the air. We are back under green as Quandale Dingle Jr. appears to move ahead of the 8 of Bankruptcy. He's going to take a stern lead here with 13 of 33 at Atlanta. A good restart, a great restart from Quandale Dingle Jr. No, I will not. Nice try, chat. I will not. Bankruptcy is going to move and give him a push, help rather, of a push from Charles Norris in the 7. He's going to move to the inside of Bankruptcy here, as another lap is in the books here at Atlanta in this round of 8. Quandale Dingle Jr. out in front. Let's take a look at the back of the pack. Looks like they're going to almost sneak 4 wide again, as Dick and Chad seem to be right next to each other almost. Yep, there they are. They are separated by 1 Clint Alabama. Good job on his part as he kind of sensed the impending doom there, keeping those cars away from each other. As it looks like Dick will get the edge over Chad here, heading into turn 1. Quandale Dingle Jr. continuing to have the lead as there is Thomas in second place. They are teammates, and Thomas does appear to be okay as he is driving with what appears to be all of his brain matter, surprisingly, after they had to scrape it off of his windshield at the Brickyard. But that 8 of Bankruptcy is going to keep on fighting for second place, and then Charles Norris is going to fall behind. Charles Norris, the winner at the Brickyard as well. He's having a strong race here already. He's going to give a push to the 8 here, try and get some spots, and almost a little bit of contact in the back there between Jay Bumberdick and Dick McCocklebutter. As Charles Norris is going to move, and he's going to get that pass on the 8 of Bankruptcy. David Mahan and Thomas fighting for third place, with Venus Hemsworth and Lola Havana fighting for fourth. 17 of 33, and Quandale Dingle is practically running away from this. He needs this to stay green because no one is catching him in these past couple of laps. David Mahan to the inside of Charles Norris now, and there's the 2 of Venus Hemsworth with a little bit of help there. Hopefully they can move on, and Dick McCocklebutter is going to move up the ranks here as well. He's going to burst into the top 6 cars. He's going to make a move on the inside as well to get past Bankruptcy. They are 3 wide in turn 2, pardon me. The voice already starting to go here at Atlanta as Quandale Dingle Jr. continues to make his lead a little bit bigger here as we get a look at the pack. Andy Tate and Waffle in the back. Waffle is going to need to pick up some spots here if he wants to make it to the next round. A little bit of contact between the 17 and the 84. Remember, the 17 was also mad at Chad Ripshit. So I would imagine that they would try and work together here to try and put Chad away. The 84 on the outside, he's going to lose a few spots here as, look at that, Chad Ripshit once again moving on to the 84. It's going to be trouble back there. Another car separating them is the 8 of Bankruptcy to once again keep them at a car's length. But that is a long line of pushes coming from the 69, the 22, and the 9. Lola Van is going to get that push, and she is going to move into third place as the 2 of Venus Hemsworth is going to gain on the 99 of Quandale Dingle Jr. Another look at the pack here. A big clump of cars towards the middle there, as there is Big Chungus getting a push from the 9 to gain quite a few spots. More fighting in the back. They are rubbing and racing hard back there. I would be nervous if I had a driver in the back of the pack there. Dick's in the middle of it too. That could be trouble. As there is a pass from the 2 on to the 99. It's going to be credit to the 99 there, but the 2 is going to probably take the lead. But no, look at Lola Havana coming in strong. That is a fast race car. Look at that, we got trouble. It's the 84 involved. Oh my gosh, the 24 and the 8 got the brunt of it, but the 84 was in fact involved. We're going to have to see the extent of the damage here. Second caution of the day. Pace car is going to come out as the 8 is going to be all rubbed up. It looks like the 84 has some minor damage on the side. He could come down pit road and fix that. Pace car is going to come out. We're going to see if we can figure out what happened here, but this is exactly what Dick did not want to do. He has to keep it clean. Second 4 wide caution of the day brought to you by Wagyu Beef Towel. Tallow. It's a hard word to say. Just get, yep, a pinch on the 84. He's going to go into the wall, but yep, it looks to be just a little bit of damage to the right side of Dick. It looks like the 24 and the 8 got most of that damage. Dick looks to be okay. You can see the back of the 8's going to be all torn up, and I think the back of the 24 as well. Take another look here. Just a pinch. Small little pinch. 24 is going to go right into the wall. Pick up some more damage on that back fender of his. One more look here. Just not enough room on the track. Look at this hit. 24 is going to spin and bam! Right into the wall. Not a lot coming out of this one for the contender. DB Cooper is another playoff car, however, so that is big playoff problems for him. As we are 26 of 33. This race is almost over as well. It seems like these things just go by so fast. We're going to go double file here again. But if you take a look, Chad Ripshit has found his way to the front of the pack. Meanwhile, the 84 of Dick McCocklebutter is following up the rear. Let's take a look at the other playoff drivers here as Waffle is also in the back. Hopefully he can pick up some spots here. But remember, 2 cars are going to be eliminated today, and as of right now, it's going to be Dick and DB Cooper, the 2 playoff drivers that are currently in the back of the pack. So they're going to need to pick up some spots here, as there is a big lead from Chad Ripshit. As you thought, you thought he was going to go away. He's not going to go away. He's going to keep pushing every week, but there's clear damage to that 2 car as well, as he hit the wall a little bit earlier in the race. And there's the 22 of Big Chungus getting a push from the 44 and the 17. That's a big line of racing there. There's the 00 of Waffle. He's going to move up some spots here as well. Hopefully can secure his spot in the next round. 3 wide for second place, so that's a big lead from Chad Ripshit. It seems like the car in first place is very easy to take it away from the rest of the pack. But the 44 of Glueman's going to try and gain on some spots here. And there's more trouble in the back, and look at it again. The 84 of Dick McCocklebutter once again involved. The 99 involved. The 23 and the 2 also involved. Dick has got... What is he doing today, man? There's the 7 into the wall. Yep. You just need him. If you're Dick's team owner right now, you got to be thinking over intercom. You got to keep it clean. Stay out of the wrecks. Keep the car off the wall. He has done none of that today. So there's a pace car. We're going to get our third 4-wide caution of the day, brought to you by New Balance. New Balance. 30 to 40-year-old men love it. Looks like it might have been, yep, another pinch that's going to collect Dick, and he's going to hit a hard hit into the wall there. Lola Havana is going to take a hit as well, and the 7's going to drag across the wall. Let's take another peek here. Just another instance of being pinched, and the 2's going to knock the 99 right into the back fender of the 84. And he's going to hit pretty hard, but it looks like the car is still intact. It looks like he's not going to DNF today at least. Hopefully the pit crew here can try and fix some of that damage to the 84, but we're going to go right into overtime here as well, as we have officially reached overtime. We are going to go green, white, checkered following this next lap around, which means green flag, the cars will go, white flag, last lap, and checkered flag, the finale. So Dick is out of the competition to win it. He's got to make up some spots in these next couple of laps, or else he will not see the light of day at Dover. We're going to go double file here, as Chad Ripshit's got to be chuckling in that car of his. He's probably got some beef tallow in his hand, and he's probably got a Natterday in the left. He's not even holding the wheel at this point. He thinks that this is an easy one, so maybe he can collect his second win after Talladega all those years ago at Atlanta. We're going to have to see what happens to Chad here, as the pace car's going to take the hard left turn. Oh, gosh. Water tastes good, ladies and gentlemen. Stay hydrated here. Brought to you by H2O. Green flag back in the air, and the 44 of Blue Man is going to take the lead over Chad here. Maybe? Yes, he is. There's a lot to cover here. Dick McCocklebutter's in the back of the pack. He needs to make up some spots, but there's Waffle, the 22 of Big Chungus there as well, and the 69 of Chad Ripshit. They are in great position to move on to the next round here. Mohammed Ghazawi in the back as well. He's there. And there's a few cars that I'm forgetting. Dave Mahan, yep, that's another one. And the battle for the lead. The 22 is in there, and we are almost at white flag. The 69 is going to get a push from the 22, but the 22 is looking inside. That is the white flag. Last lap here at Atlanta. The 22 on the inside of the 69. Here comes the 44. The 22 is going to get a push from the 44 here to get around Chad Ripshit. Can the 44 of Glue Man make a move? He looks like he's going to on the inside. Here's the 22, and the 69 looks like he's out of contention. It's going to be a drag race between the 44 and the 22 down to the final lap, and it's going to be the 22 of Big Chungus to take the win at Atlanta. A long time coming for the 22. We're going to have to see how that placement goes for Dick McCocklebutter. Chad Ripshit will collect third place. Blue Man in second. Thomas after that, what a bounce back. He's going to finish in fourth. David Mahan, another driver to move on, is going to finish fifth here today to wrap off the top 5 drivers. As they come in here, let's take a peek. It looks like Walker Fuller is going to be eliminated here. He didn't even finish the race, and it looks to be Dick McCocklebutter in 15th. He did move up some spots, but Weenus Hemsworth, wait a minute. Is Weenus Hemsworth is in the playoffs, is he not? Walker Fuller and Weenus Hemsworth are the drivers, unless Walker Fuller is not. Walker Fuller is not. I didn't think so. What a day at Atlanta. We're going to have to take another peek here at the final standings. We're going to have to do that post-race. But apologies for this broadcast being a little bit on edge today. My throat's once again killing me. And I got a rough start at the beginning because I was watching the Twitch stream and not the Streamlabs stream, which means that I was a second behind. Which is embarrassing watching that on the replay, but it happens. It's going to happen here when I'm the only one in the booth. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take another quick break as we calculate these final scores. After review of the final scores, it appears that the two drivers that will be eliminated from today's race will be Dick McCocklebutter and Weenus Hemsworth IV. That is pending post-race inspections. But what a race we had today. Big Chungus in the 22 is going to pick up the W at Atlanta. A big day for him. He started second place too. He was kind of throughout the pack all day, and he was able to pick it back up at the end. Dick McCocklebutter could not stay out of trouble here at Atlanta, and that's the one thing he needed to do to ensure his spot in the next round. He's got to be punching himself in the face, and I would wager he might even overdose in the next couple of days here. But he, as of right now, along with Weenus Hemsworth, are eliminated from playoff contention. Those are words that fans did not want to hear at the 4-Wide Sim League. But like I said, we're gonna have to see how post-race inspections go, and perhaps, you know, one stroke of luck would mean that a disqualification for one of the other playoff drivers, and then maybe Dick or Weenus could sneak in here. But it looks like it would have to be Dick to sneak in, as we might be getting a little bit more errors here. It was a chaotic one today in the booth, that's for sure. But we're gonna thank everyone for joining us here at the 4-Wide Sim League's presentation of Atlanta. I'm about as baffled as I could possibly be, to be quite honest with you. But that's going to do it for us in the booth. Thank you for tuning in on Twitch. YouTube viewers, thank you for watching. As we will see you next week, February the 3rd, I believe, is the day, correct? February the 3rd on Friday. That will be Dover, as we move on to the round of 6, and that will be the second to last race in Season 1, and it's crazy to think that we've come this far. We've had our hiccups, but here we are in the playoffs with only 6 drivers remaining. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you at Dover.